Let's fucking roll. All right, everybody, welcome back to the McBastard Studio. You're listening to Brad Banyas. We're hosting here the SaltyMF GOAT Podcast today, but today we have our Salties Live music, and we just got a killer band that came down from North Georgia. They're called Past Our Prime, and so we're in the studio today. They're amazing guys, good guys. So, guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Brad.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I mean, sitting here listening to it, I mean, I've heard you guys before online, but it's just amazing. Like we were talking, I don't know how to, I hate that when people place music in a genre, but like I was sitting there trying, I'm like, I just can't do it. Like you guys are so unique in your sound, and it was amazing to hear it. So you guys have been together like literally like since like middle school and little kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So let's walk through everybody first so that the audience knows who everybody is, starting with Brad.
Okay. Hey, I'm Brad. I play keys and sing in the band.
Good deal. I'm Juan, and I'm guitar, 6-string guitar.
Yes, I play the bass. My name's Alex, and oh yeah, go.
You
go
good?
for it, yeah.
I'm Paul. I play the 12-string guitar.
And I'm Nate. I'm the drummer.
The guy with the beard, the good-looking dude. Chicks, hey, look, he's married.
Yeah.
He's married. He's married. But yeah, so tell us about like just what it was like growing up, because I mean, to be together that long to me is just really cool. And I know you guys didn't always play together, but you kind of recently came together and started doing it. So
I
jump
think
in.
it made it really easy once we first like started playing this iteration, because we'd already played with each other for so long. It was really natural. And I don't know, it's just great.
Yeah.
Like we've always both played music. We play with different people, different times.
Mm-hmm.
This time, this is coming together better than anything we put together before. So I'm excited about it.
Brad, I shared with you, I think like one of the first times I ever played with anybody was in 7th grade, and it was with Alex. We did like a really, really just terrible cover of Blue Monday by New Order. And then, Juan, I've played with him for years. Paul, too. Funny story with Nate. We played together in college some.
Yep.
Had like a little bit of a group. We played a little bit. And then I didn't see the dude for 10 years. And one day I was sitting at a bar stool and I hear, Brad, is that you? And it's Nate. And I look over and I'm like, oh my gosh, man. So within a week, we're back playing together and playing some corny like Elvis Costello covers or something like that. But it's really like feels kind of like a family thing that we can all, we've got that shared experience and the frame of reference kind of work together with.
Yeah, I can tell. I mean, you guys just gel really good, and you guys are busting everybody's balls, which I love personally. And it's just awesome. Nate was off growing that magnificent beard for 10 years, and
That's right.
Yeah.
Came back looking like Gandalf, man. That's true.
Yeah.
well, I mean, so obviously you guys, I picked up. You guys are all family guys, and it sounds like you have some young kids, and that's really cool. I know that's trying to kind of quell your passion with music and all that, and having life and doing that is tough sometimes. But are most of your families pretty supportive about what you're doing?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. My wife is the first one to say, get out of the house, go practice. She knows it's a good thing. And music has been a big part for all of us growing up. And believe it or not, this is actually Paul's and I's first official band.
Yeah.
We've been, playing for years, but never been in an established official band. So it's great. But yeah, all the wives are supportive, the kids. We did a Christmas show, a charity show during Christmas for Toys for Tots. So we had all the kids come out, all the wives. It was just great. I mean, you got kids running around, wives, our family.
Nate
So
was
that's
dressed
awesome.
like Santa using that magnificent.
Yeah.
beard.
I was
No
the
problem.
Grinch.
It's
Yep.
real.
I was the Grinch, and Nate was Santa for that show.
You were the Grinch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
That's
was awesome.
awesome.
It was a good time.
There's I grew up in Sandy Springs, and over at Perimeter Mall there, that Santa that was there, just I mean, the dude looked amazing. Looked just like a real Santa. Those guys make some big bucks. So you're
Really?
retired. So Nate's wife, I don't know you, but don't let him retire. Make him get there around Christmas and earn some money. So,
Yeah,
that's
they
awesome.
do. They do. They're really good ones. Mhm.
Turn the cheddar out, man.
Yeah. So how'd you guys settle on like what I call your style of music? Like what influenced you to I mean, I'm just curious because I mean it really is like I couldn't place it. So who was you guys like influenced bands or musicians, or you kind of melded together your sound?
Well, it's kind of this iteration, like the way this band came together. It was, we were kind of to a stage where our kids are a little bit older. We're not like necessarily changing diapers anymore. Well, Paul, we're all like to the point now where we have a little bit more free time, and it was like we got to get out there. We got to start playing. I don't want to waste any more time, and it kind of like evolved through this thing where at first, metal's really big in the Atlanta area, and we're like, okay, we're gonna do like a death metal sludge band. Like you can ask Juan. I was gonna try to put like a prop, like a guar show or something. Where
we have big dreams.
It's like I was sketching up the
We talked
plans
a
for the
lot about
functioning,
that.
the functioning guillotine, and then we
That's
talked through it
funny.
a little bit, and I'm like, that's absolutely insane, man. We got to tone it down some and play like closer to what our roots are. It's very important that we have 12-string guitar in there because it just covers a lot of sonic range that other people aren't doing. And incorporating some keys and synthesizers. It's
And I
really
think,
opened a lot of doors.
yeah, like when you asked, like, how did we settle on? I don't think we've settled.
That's a
Like
good
we never
point.
like, we're just figuring it out. We play what sounds awesome. Some of our songs, if you notice, on Spotify and on the albums are a little bit slower because when we fleshed them out. They just sounded better, faster, and we jam a little bit. So I think, we don't settle. We just kind of go with the
Yeah.
flow.
Yeah, but as far as influences, I mean, all over the place. You got punk rock, you have rock. I even as a Colombian, I love bluegrass, right? So there's so much music passion in the room that's how it comes alive. Now we have to say Brad is the creative mind behind most of the songs. We work with the arrangements, but that drive and the songwriting comes from Brad.
Yeah.
And we're obviously all big fans of his writing, obviously.
Yeah.
Well, and I think really the whole goal is just to write something that's fun. Like we talked about that show around Christmas a while back. I mean, we try not to keep it in a box. We try to like leave it open ended. Like I think we did a cover of a Herbie Hancock song.
Oh,
like,
really?
Yeah.
brought a
Like-
horn out and stuff, and
Chameleon.
yeah, we did some other stuff like we took a Cure song and made it like reggae and have fun with that. But our original stuff, we try to kind of keep it in that same format where it's sort of this indie alternative type thing, and just see if we can take that and like meld it with little pieces of everything else we like.
I've always wanted to, because we've now been around a number of like musicians and artists, and everyone knows I'm just a listener, but I think it'd be cool to like have a festival and just have everybody get kind of jam together. Like, hey, what do you want to play, man? Let's give that tune a rock. Let's give it a ride, and just kind of free flow it. And,
Yeah.
That would be fun.
because I've noticed, like I was up in Nashville last couple weekends ago, and we a private party we had. Some guys were playing for us, and one of the kids there, his name is Gage. Call out to Gage up in Nashville. He's a young guy, but his uncle's like, hey, my nephew can play. Let him get in there. And these other guys were a little bit more along in their career, and he got down and he just jumped right in with them, and it was just like
That's awesome.
so cool to see. Like he's a musician, right? He's listened to the beat, what they're doing, stayed with them, and I just thought that was a pretty cool environment for people to see that it wasn't kind of staged. It wasn't, it was just musicians kind of cutting it up.
I think
The open jams are awesome. And Brad has a beautiful property up in Maryville, and we did a creekside jam a couple of years ago. And, by the creek, he built a little platform. We had like 7 pickers out there, and we were just, pick a key and let's go.
Yeah,
So I agree.
Yeah.
Let's get play with them.
I love that.
that's awesome.
And you learn so much, because it's spontaneous. You don't know.
Yeah.
It's not a structure. It's not a script. So
Yeah.
love an open jam.
You gotta try to take the cowbell away from one of the kids because it really is too much cowbell. Like, come on, man.
So the old cowboy, I have this horrible memories, good memories. But my mom, when I played sports, had a cowbell. And as a little kid, when she was ringing it, and I'm like, oh God. But then later in life, I was like, she's a good mom. She was rooting me on with that cowbell. But every time I hear a cowbell, I'm like, oh,
There's a place for a cowbell.
Yeah.
But we haven't crossed that yet as a band, I don't think. Right, Nate?
Maybe we
I've
should
got
bring
one
it
now.
in.
So,
Yeah.
one ready.
Nate
Yeah,
has
you got,
got
yeah,
one.
you got one, Nate?
I got
All
one.
right,
I
next
think
time
we'll see
bring it
it.
in.
We'll see it.
I'll
sometime.
start out every podcast with a cowbell from here on out.
And a clap.
Yeah, and a
There
clap.
we go.
Was that good? Did I have good form on that?
It was great.
That
That was an
It
inside
was.
joke with the band and Brad, so I had to do it. It was just an inside joke.
Been doing that for years.
But no, we were talking about just kind of your stage, and you guys are obviously mature musicians. You were just talking about, hey man, we just want to play in front of a crowd and play good music and express ourselves, and I think that's really cool, because a lot of people are, getting famous is not as easy as people think it is, and it's cool to see people that's kind of like, hey man, we're gonna play music, it's what we do, we're musicians. So
I don't think any of us have any like delusions of grandeur. We don't want to be famous. We just want to be the best band that we can be, and hopefully go out and play for people. And it gets a little bit more complicated as you get older with that, because like you've overcome the family thing and everything. But I feel like the band passed in prime. The name, it's a little bit tongue in cheek, because I feel like now I actually have like some frame of reference in
Yeah.
life to have some sort of like social commentary or something.
absolutely.
It's a little bit more welcoming as a musician when you're 21 years old.
Yeah.
My 21-year-old self didn't know squat. I could have whipped my butt in like a 40-yard dash, but
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about life. So I feel like we've really kind of come to a place where we're producing good music, and that's the goal.
Yeah. And that's true. I mean, I think, you hate hearing this when you're younger, when I was younger, because, wisdom and experience win most of the time. And it is kind of true, because you do have so many, music is about expression. You have so many life experiences, things that you know how to express yourself, I think a little bit different. And you're actually trying to be a little bit more authentic or tell a story. Like I find myself like talking to younger people when I listen to myself, I'm like, geez, like you're like a grandpa now. Like you're giving all these drops of
Giving
like,
advice.
wisdom and stuff, but it is true, and you're not as naive about how hard it is to get somewhere, and so you just get on the path and go.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I agree. I mean, it really, I'm glad I didn't pursue being a musician when I was younger. It's a hard career. I mean, you said it, it's just to make a living out of it. It's, one in a million.
Yeah.
And luckily, we all have successful careers, so we can have our jobs and still pursue, our passions and play in life.
Yeah, I feel like honestly, if I was needing to make money off it, it might suck a lot of the joy out of it.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
And really, I just want to play.
So yeah, I mean, the goal is to play music in front of people who want to hear it.
Yeah.
And it starts like with our families, even if I'm playing a song on the couch and my wife, if she doesn't like it, I'm not going to be playing it on the couch for very long. I got to go somewhere else.
That's a tough crowd,
Yeah, it's
folks.
a-
Tough crowd out there.
They don't hold much back.
No tip jar.
The first 10 minutes is okay, but but you play music, then not only does your wife want to hear it, your family wants to hear it. You can bring all your best friends' families. They want to hear it.
Yeah, there was a really, and I think all of us have
That's-
experienced.
That's it right there.
I think all of us have experienced this. Our kids humming a song or
Yeah.
singing it in the car. It was, we wrote a new song and I was playing it, and my son Luca started. He's 3 years old,
Yeah.
and he's in the back singing "Together
Yeah.
Eagles," and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So sharing that is
That's
really
awesome.
cool.
I mean, to me, like songs are it's a form of storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's really such a form of storytelling, which I think, part of this whole thing with the podcast stuff we did is, I think storytelling is a lost art. Like everything's so instantaneous or on your phone or image based or whatever, and we just lost that. Like us to sit, we don't know each other from Adam. Like we
Right.
just met each
Yeah.
other, right? But I feel like you guys are brothers and McBastards now. Welcome to family. But I mean that music is a great way to
Well,
express.
it's like
It is.
bluegrass circles, with pickers.
Mhm.
You can not know somebody at all and then go share the most intimate 10 minutes of your life
Yeah.
playing music together.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
powerful. And I feel like people our age don't really have any third spaces to hang out at, that aren't bars or bars. So just, getting together and in these third spaces is nice.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm going with that.
And you
but-
mentioned the storytelling too. You know, I love
Yeah.
being able to try and like take an idea and spin a yarn with it. You know, it's like I said, like incorporating some sort of shared experience. You know, it gives me some sort of like outlet to be able to express those things. Like for example, on our album Through the Screen, it came out last year. There's a song on there called Mercy Declined. Well, that's about my frustrations with the healthcare system. You know, we've all got gripes with it and
Absolutely.
like billing and, you know, it can be a nightmare. Like you said, we're all dads.
Yeah.
Holy, you know, that's a mess. But, you know, and then there's so much going on in society, and it's like you got this crazy guy, the Luigi out there that's like, you know, shooting people. We don't advocate for any violence or anything like that, man. Tell a story.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
use your voice in a way that that you know
brings people
hopefully
together.
brings people together and can hopefully be heard.
Yeah.
And Brad always says, you know, yeah, as he writes the lyrics, he just try to focus on like social commentary, you know, things that are affecting everybody, or you know, so family, you know, healthcare system, whatever it is. But it's
Well,
good.
we're you know, we've talked about this before. I mean, kind of getting into the philosophical. We're all the same. Like we think we're different. I don't care what color, race you are, gender, or whatever. I mean, we're humans are the same.
Mhm.
We all feel the same emotions at some
They
point.
don't want the same
You go through
things.
pain, you go through happiness, you go through love, you go through hate, you go through anger. And I think I think you know, some songs are great. You know, if you're angry, let it go, bro.
Yeah.
Get out the guitar and rip it, man. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
get some heavy metal out. Get that axe ready, baby. Draw that axe, you know? I mean, that's cool. That's it's a way to me, it looks like it's a way to you know, get your aggression out or your emotions out or whatever, and you're flowing it through music instead of chopping someone's head off.
Yeah.
Brad,
better alternative.
I didn't know that part about you, Brad. All these
Chop it off
axes
with
and-
sound.
They did veto the guillotine.
Yes.
yeah.
Hey, I was.
I
all
thought it would have
about
been
it.
cool.
Yeah.
Would've been a
Yeah.
Not family
cool
friendly
music
now.
video.
It's
No,
in the back burner. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, okay.
It might make.
I think we need to bring it back.
We'll bring.
We could have it like a once a year festival.
With the guillotine.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Kids, don't come up front. Stay in the
Like a
back.
Gallagher show.
Yeah, that guy was hilarious. So when you write or like you're pulling things just from your experiences, is there like, I think I would probably try to write something about like funny, and I'm not very funny. So, and I couldn't sing a tune if I had to do on it, but like, where do you draw on most of your lyrics from? Like, is there a source? Is it your family? Is it your, you know, the guillotines I'm a little worried about, but
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, there's anything that can kind of catch you and hold your imagination.
Mhm.
So, like, you know, sometimes I'll just dig into something wild. Like, I listened to another podcast a little while back, and it was about how these like humpback whales were coming out and like fighting orcas or something. I was like, yeah, that'd be a cool song. Heroes of a Cruel Sea. Or something.
yeah, well, I love it.
But like, we've recently. Actually, last Friday we released a single, and we've got another one coming out. I don't know when this will air, but tomorrow. And something that you know we all kind of confront a little bit is substance abuse. And so our latest song, Echo, is it's about people you've lost.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some epidemic level stuff going on,
Absolutely.
and we've all lived life.
Yeah.
And so there's very few families, friends that haven't been touched by that. And then the flip side of that coin is the next one that we've got coming out is a cover of Jefferson Airplane's White Rabbit. And, that was kind of like, it's sort of like idealized this counterculture thing of the 60s. But man, did Wonderland look fun to you?
Yeah.
Like how many times is Alice crying and stuff?
Yeah,
And it's like,
absolutely.
that's not cool. So we wanted to kind of like reimagine that a little bit
Yeah.
and just, kind of work in that space. And then we'll return to the humpbacks and the orcas.
Yeah. Hey, I was born in the hippie age, man. I'm a 60 baby, so
I'm,
But
you guys are younger than I am, so
uh,
it's yeah, that's cool, man. I think I love your sound. I love the way you guys gel together. Is good. I've been around there's a lot of bands growing. A lot of my buddies were in bands or whatever, and like if the personalities didn't meld in that band, man, like they'd cut some good music, but they've been like arguing with each other, pissed off at each other. I don't know if it was jealous. I don't know what it was with the human emotions around it, but like it was really bad because they were a good band. Like their music was good, but they just couldn't. Like, you know, it's like having a family. You know,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
kids, my wife's like, "Oh, the boys are always fighting." I'm like, "That's awesome. That's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to give each other shit and, you know, not get too sensitive about it. And you know, being together a long time like you guys are, obviously you have respect for each other.
Well, like Alex was saying, it's a very intimate thing. Like, you know, we're pretty close, you know,
Yeah.
and we would be anyways without the band, but it just adds another dynamic of like, I mean, I'm pretty comfortable with these guys. Like, you know, we can kind of rip on each other a little bit, like you're talking about, without, you know, getting all sensitive about it.
I love it.
And I
Is
think
your
that kinda
mic on, by
polishes
the way?
Talking about giving each other shit, huh?
Should I do the clap?
Tap, tap, tap.
He was waiting for that.
Hey,
Oh,
your
no.
name's Brad. You're
Oh, no,
you're
man.
you're like me, man. We got to give each other shit.
Yeah, I think your folks are. It's on them this time.
Yeah, that's on them. Damn it.
I think
Open
he
Heart
left.
Media does a good job. Just so everybody knows, I always give credit to people. We're not about taking credit. Open Heart Media runs this podcast for us in production, and they do an amazing job. So I think you guys experienced that. We're sitting here. We probably warmed up for an hour and a half to make sure that the sound was just right, but we're very grateful for that because we would not be doing this.
Excellent. Thank you
Yeah,
very
thank you.
much,
This
guys.
is very good.
It was
All
fun
fans.
warming up all that time.
Yeah.
It was a really cool practice session, you know?
Yeah.
No, it was great.
Yeah, it's I always ask people just like what you felt about, like, did you coming in here, did you have any idea like what this would be like, or
No clue.
No,
It's just exciting, you know. Like we listen to podcasts, we all watch YouTube videos of musicians, and yeah, it's just super cool. And you know, thanks for the opportunity. This
Oh, yeah,
is
no.
really neat.
no
And then
doubt.
we
I mean,
drive up to the spaceship.
Oh yeah, this
Yeah.
building.
the building's crazy, man. It's
I love
crazy.
it.
If you're a Star Trek goober, like this would be like a mecca. You can come in here and like bring a lunch and have
I'll
a
be
dinner.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think Alex and I are gonna
So you
move
have the
in.
galaxy pictures. I don't know shit about it, but I'll point them out to you. But yeah, no, it's been a great venue. So definitely an interesting venue when people come in. But like, you know, I don't even remember how Brad and I even connected. I have no idea. Like people are asked, well, how do you? I'm like, I don't know. We just connected. I don't remember why we connected or how we connected.
Yeah, if
but-
I recall, I think we met Zach from Open Heart Media at a show.
yeah.
And I think at that time, Brad, myself, somebody, you know, got the information, but that was last year.
Yeah.
So somewhere along the line, we reached out and said, "Hey, it's us. We met."
So
And
I would have seen you guys because I was telling you guys now I thought coming together. So that's when Ultraviolet was down here and they were
Mhm.
playing it. It's Backstrap, right, or Black?
Black
Backstrap.
Strap.
Yeah, not Backstrap.
Excellent
sorry.
venue up in Gainesville. We'll give a shout out to them. They're very
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like their
Blackstrap.
lineups. They got a wild group of,
Yes.
of lineups.
yeah.
But no, we were my son and I were on our way to. We would have seen you guys that night. We got an accident. So in saying that, you just how divine intervention. We're really divine intervention people here because crazy shit happens to me all the time. Call out to Harrison Aiken, who'll be fighting in the bare knuckle fighting championship next Friday, the 28th in Albuquerque, New Mexico. He's one of our guys that we sponsor. He's amazing. He's fighting a number 3 guy out there. We'll be there supporting him. So all this stuff comes together. We would have seen these guys past our prime, but we got in a wreck and happened to hit a bare knuckle fighter guy, became friends, and now
That's
he's
really
part
cool.
of the family.
That's
So
rad.
here we go. It's
Damn.
all
What?
coming back together now. So
Nobody told me this.
yeah, I just figured it out.
Yeah.
That's
That's insane.
It's insane. But
Say-
so many things that happen, like that's one of the things I think when, you know, even like music, when you're open to listening, you're opening to listening to your surroundings, to your God, to your, you know, whatever drives you, like crazy things happen, you know?
Yes.
Insane. So so some guy follows me. I got to call you out, Tom, on this. I'm sorry. I'm going to do it. So some guy follows me on Instagram and I'm like, who is this guy? Cause he's got a weird name, like Tomcat something. I won't say it, but, and I'm like, and I don't let anyone follow me on my personal Instagram that I don't know who they are. Cause I send pictures of my kids and all that stuff up there. And so finally he goes, hey, is this the Banyas that we used to ride around on mopeds in Boston when we were in 5th grade? And I was like, oh God, it's Tom Allaire. Oh my God, it's Tom. So it's just a funny story how that goes and how, you know, I haven't seen him for, you know, whatever, 45 years and just that connection. And then we started talking and it was interesting how many people we had run across during that time, but never connected. So Tom Allaire, good to connect with you, brother. I did save your ass in the schoolyard when those guys were trying to get you. So I did save your ass. So don't forget that. So
You know, it's funny. You talk about social media, and it's like I've just generally got a distrust of it. I don't love it, but it's really important for being able to connect with people. Juan is like the
guy.
marketing guru guy. So, you know, funny story. He had this idea when the album first came out last year that we were going to like put QR codes on these business cards to link people to the album, and like we were going to leave them in every time we leave the city. We're leaving them all over the airport, all over other cities,
yeah.
like in truck stop bathrooms, all this stuff. Anyway, right. And so I went to Canada last year. I was in Montreal and Quebec City, and you know, when you release an album, you get all these metrics. You know this from working with Spotify. It like tells you where people are listening. I must have put like 350 cards all over Montreal. There is one person. There is one person that consistently listens to us in Montreal. So if you are a random fan in Montreal and you hear this, please send us a message. You will get a T-shirt and some stickers.
Yeah, that's amazing. But it happens like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's even like, so when we got into the, you know, we weren't lifestyle people, we weren't apparel people, we weren't music people, we weren't any of that. And I mean, you just kind of, you stumble into something, and then like some guy in, I think he's Portland. I don't want to call his name out, but he's like, hey man, can you guys make me some SaltyMF hockey jerseys? And I'm like, sure, whatever. I mean, whatever. We were a young brand, or whatever. So we made them, 12 of them, sent them out there, whatever. And then we just started getting all these orders from like Portland, Oregon, and from people that he had seen. When you're building something, music, business, with brand, whatever you're doing, that one person in the middle of nowhere, whatever, can be the spark. It's like, hey, have you guys heard Past Dark Prime? These guys are amazing, right? And that's to me the coolest part about any of this. I mean, we're in marketing too, spent a ton of money on stuff and lost our ass in it and whatever. I find when someone genuinely connects with you or your music or your brand, man, that person, thank you guys for all the Salty Nation out there. You're gold.
Yeah.
Because, you know, to the Portland people out there, awesome. We would have never, ever, you know, been selling products in Portland because they're not advertising in Portland, Oregon.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's that network effect, and you know, seeing an opportunity and taking it.
Yeah.
You know, if we didn't talk to Zach at that show, well, we would not be here.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
Nowhere to connect, no context. So, yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, and I think it's when you find like, you know, just like you guys, you're musicians, you're like, hey, we just want to be heard. We just want to sing our songs, right? We just want to make people happy. I mean, it's the same thing like with Around Our Brand. That was the same thing. It was like, hey, we just want to honor people, man. We want to honor people like you. We want to hear your story. We want to, like, there's no malice or any kind of like agenda. And I think when you do stuff that doesn't really have a real kind of agenda, it just naturally happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I love what you're doing here with, you know, the lifestyle brand it's awesome. You know, like I said earlier, why do one thing? You know?
Yeah.
You're doing it great. You're doing it all great. So,
well, hell, why
Very
not?
cool.
Well, I don't know what we'll be in next, but I don't know. Just give me some ideas. Who knows?
Yeah.
Doing that festival with the guillotine, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to do. That's a SaltyMF festival.
Yeah.
I'll bring the guillotine.
But the
That's a
kicker,
nice side
it'll
quest.
be like family friendly.
Yeah,
you know?
family. We'll
I don't know.
we'll chop
That's
watermelon.
exciting.
We'll chop
Yeah, I
watermelon.
don't
We'll have the you know, the picker. Everybody comes up on stage, plays a different note, going all day long.
There's so many bands though that we've come through that I would just see like you guys sitting in a room like with them. You would just like y'all would like really like each other. That's the cool thing about it. I've not met any assholes yet, but they probably wouldn't be on if they were.
Mhm.
But we've not met anyone that was like just not a like cool, genuine, you know, kind of very same attitude. Hey man, I'd be doing this regardless.
exactly.
And that's where you're at in your life, right? You're like, I'm gonna do it anyways. I mean, there's no like really agenda.
Yeah.
If you like it, cool. If you don't, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Who cares? Well, you guys have anything else? I mean, I could sit here and talk to you forever, and I know that I know you guys got stuff you got to do. Is there anything you want the world to know? I mean, let's tell them where first of all to come listen to. Obviously, Spotify. Everybody goes. If you haven't heard of Spotify, it's this music kind of streaming thing. You can go there and listen to songs and podcasts and other stuff. But like, where where should they go to you guys? Like Instagram or Facebook?
Yeah, it's our handle for everything is Pastor Prime. Pastor Prime Band on Instagram. We have a YouTube. The album is on Spotify and the 2 singles. And we are on Groupeez as well.
Yep.
Thank you for that platform.
Band Groupeez, yep.
It's been great. And that's it. And then shows. We got a show coming up March 13th at Star Bar
So
in
I've heard of-
Atlanta.
Yeah.
Happens to be this guy's 40th birthday.
Oh,
So-
young man, that's awesome.
Nobody said we're past our prime,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, so few shows coming up. May we'll be back in Gainesville. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah, so if you do follow them on Band Groupeez, and I'm going to do a shameless plug because it's our service, and we did it for musicians like Past Our Prime, and we talked about that with Brad why we did it. But I mean, you can follow them on Band Groupeez, and you can know wherever they're playing. So if they're not doing 10 shows a month or whatever, but they're coming, to the Star Bar down where you guys are, you'll know it. You'll get the notification. So follow bands, local bands on that, and you'll be kept abreast of where they are. That's the whole intent of trying to do that.
Yeah.
It's meant
Great.
to bring
Yeah.
attention to the musician is what it's meant to do.
And we
So
really appreciate
shameless
it.
plug.
Thank you.
Shameless plug.
Yeah.
Let's say it's our studio.
It's like-
Yeah.
it says the host of the
Yeah.
podcast.
Sponsored by Band Groupeez.
Awesome.
Yeah, well, guys, that's amazing. You're part of our family now, and we're going to promote you. And so anything you want to send, what you're doing, we're going to get some good content out of this for you guys, and we hope you'll come back. And then we're going to put on some festivals, probably late April, early May. We'd love you guys to play. We're going to try to bring some of the family bands that have been here and see if we can get everybody in a little circuit around Atlanta. So it'll be mainly around Atlanta, but we'd love to have you guys on that.
Yeah, we
We'll
love
be there.
it.
Definitely.
Thank
We'll
you
be
very
there.
much.
Say when.
We're just bringing people together here. That's all we're doing, folks.
Amen.
But so you've heard them, Past Our Prime. Check them out on all their socials. Check them out on Band Groupeez. Check them out on YouTube. Download their new song on Echo, which is it out now on?
Yeah,
It's-
that one's out.
Echo.
So it's out. Echo is out on Spotify. I like the background of that, of what you were talking about. Obviously, these guys are writing about deep subjects. They're talented musicians, and I'm grateful for you to come to our studio and cut it up, man.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
You guys are
Yeah.
awesome. So that's it. Love music more on Band Groupeez. Shameless plug. That's it.